Our first guest tonight is an Academy Award-winning actress whose new film, She Came to Me, is in theaters tomorrow, October 6th. Please welcome back to the show the very talented, our dear friend, Anne Hathaway, everybody. Welcome back, Anne.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to hear, and I want to congratulate you. Our lives run in parallel in many ways. My wife and I celebrated our 10th. You guys just celebrated your 11th anniversary. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. What did you guys do for the big 1-1?
Got rained out.
You got rained out. Was it this?
Yes, it was this past Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's a terrible day. That's literally the skies sending an omen. Yeah.
That you should just let your ambition be dead.
Yep.
And so we did. We just kind of like re-pajama'd.
Oh, that's nice. I think if you can re-pajama with someone, that means that you've chosen the right mate.
You know, I had a moment when I was curled up on his chest and we were watching like hour 3 of Abbott Elementary, and I was like, I'm so happy.
There you go.
This is the right guy for me. And I did have that thought what did you guys do?
It was September 1st, and we had a lovely dinner party where it was 5 couples, and we all went around and talked about how we met, the day we met. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the last guy who told the story, was way more romantic than the first 4 guys had been, in a way that we all were like, can we go again?
Actually, I'm going to change my answer.
I would love to change it. I didn't realize we were allowed to talk like that.
You and I met for the first time just before he and I met, or got together.
Really?
Because, yeah, in October 2008, I hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time.
Yeah, I remember well.
And then I went out to I remember it very well. It was one of the most exciting weeks of my life. It still is. And then I went out to LA to work on a movie, and that's when Adam and I got closer. And then it was the North American premiere of Rachel Getting Married, the Jonathan Demme film.
There you go, Jonathan Demme, the great director.
That month in my life was just crazy.
That's so fantastic. The other thing I remember, The Killers were the musical guests.
Yes.
And that was that show also, I should note, was right after the last writer's strike. That was,
oh my gosh, I forgot about that part.
And so we were so happy to be back at SNL, and you were such an exceptional host, and so that was really special. And it was just a banger of a show, I remember start to finish. But my parents were there, and The Killers were the musical guests. And I introduced my parents to The Killers, who were really nice. And as they walked away, my mom said very loud, and they definitely heard, I don't know why they call them The Killers. They couldn't be nicer. I'm like, well, did you think they were murderers?
So my mom came to one of my little brother did stand up for a while. He's really funny, and my mom and dad, went to one of his shows, and one of the comics before him explained Tinder to the audience, and then in the pause that followed, because most people knew what Tinder was, but my mother didn't, you just hear my mom's voice ring out, "Oh, that's awful!"
That's what you want to hear on stage as a comic. This film, this is a beautiful independent film. Obviously, there's a SAG-AFTRA strike. This is a film with a waiver that is given to some of the independent films that are not made under sort of the auspices of the struck companies. Is it nice to be able to come up and talk about sort of one of these smaller films that sometimes don't get the same amount of attention?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, for a lot of reasons. One, Rebecca Miller is our writer and our director, and I think she's been working on this project for close to a decade.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, and she is the most brilliant, talented person. She's not just a director and a writer, but she's also an artist. She's a painter, and this is the movie, the screenplay, is based on a short story that she wrote and then adapted herself and then transformed. It's all set in the world of opera, but it's also set in the world of tugboats.
That's
which I know we've all seen that movie a million times.
Because I had that idea, and now I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, do it before someone beats you to it.
And it's that thing where I love going to, I love all kinds of movies.
Sure,
I'm not
same.
just like, but when I think that we're at our best as an industry, and when I think we're at our best, like as an audience, is when we have different options. And I'm just really proud to be, part of an independent offering that's totally original, that's a little bit like a French movie, but without subtitles and in English.
That's very nice. Every time I watch a French movie, I'm like, couldn't you have done it easier? Couldn't you made it easier for me?
For me.
Now, I can't even look at my phone during this movie.
How rude. Oh,
Do you, and you auditioned for Rebecca Miller years ago.
I was a literal teenager.
Wow.
And I auditioned for her a week before I met you. No, I auditioned for her.
I remember you were always like, I'm so excited. I just auditioned for Rebecca Miller.
I was 19 years old, and she was making an incredible movie called The Ballad of Jack and Rose. And I was going to Vassar at the time, and I was taking a romantic poetry course. And I remember going into the audition, and you know how it is. You're like one fish in a sea of an ocean of actresses. And I didn't know if I was going to get the part, but I just wanted to let her know what the screenplay had meant to me because I really love her writing. And I just handed her a poem that reminded me of the screenplay that she'd written. And so when I met her, she was actually my last meeting before the pandemic kicked in. And I walked in, and she goes, "It's really nice to meet you." And I said, "Well, technically we've met." And I reminded her, and she didn't remember me. Hopefully my acting's improved since then. But she did remember the poem.
Oh, that's very sweet to have a poem remembered. She's like, in all my years, no one had the nerve to hand me a poem.
The nerve or the nerd?
It's a little, I think it's a combo of both when you give someone a poem.
A nervy nerd. That seems
This
awkward.
is, you're also a producer on this film.
I am.
And I'm wondering, like, how, because again, you're this wonderful actor, and then do you also have to bring that in? And this is what I also love. This is such a great New York cast: Marissa Tomei and Peter Dinklage. This is a real East Coast posse right here. And do you ever, as a producer, go, "Hey, maybe a little bit more like this," or do you?
What do you mean?
Like, do you ever give your other actors, like, "Hey, I just want to remind you that I'm also,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good, yeah.
I have to.
You got to, right? You care about the product. Your name's out there.
I just don't know that it's been a complete experience unless I've crushed the spirit of the person that I'm with. That's just kind of what... I am kidding, I promise.
Yeah. You should give all your notes from here on out via poem and just be like, I have something to say about your acting, but I would like you to read this poem.
Okay, so if I I'm gonna try this.
Okay, good.
Or I'm gonna deny this.
Oh!
I don't know if I can fly this, but I'm gonna try this.
This is like a magic trick and I don't like it. I don't like how quickly you're rhyming.
If you don't like it, no, I'm just gonna stop.
Okay, good. I have more questions to ask you, and we're gonna show a clip of the movie. We're right back with more from Anne Hathaway.
Thank you.